Have you ever experienced a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? When everything counts and your impact makes the difference in shaping the world of tomorrow. It's time to unleash the full potential of the Neue Klasse.
We love to go over the edge because we love driving. Our first super brain with the all-new dynamic performance control. Up to 10 times higher driving performance, developed 100% in-house. And this is our second super brain. It makes the already perfect BMW automated driving system even more powerful. More BMW than ever before.
We also evolve beyond our company. This means partnering with the best. In close cooperation with our suppliers, we are further reducing CO2 emissions, conserving finite resources, and creating closed material loops.
Innovations drive future solutions. We involve and empower our employees. To me, Neue Klasse also means new skills, new forms of collaboration, new facilities, a new mindset. That's how we take our 155,000 employees on that journey.
We have strong teams to set up an entirely new generation of cars, using cutting-edge technologies and outstanding expertise. We will roll out the Neue Klasse across our global production network. In 2025, the Neue Klasse becomes reality.
Already today, we merge real and digital worlds to create unique experiences for our customers. Natural, emotional, and personal. The new BMW iDrive is the perfect example of how we take this to the next level.
Fully digital cars developed by a truly digital company. We are clearly committed to that. Digital tools and AI support us in taking the right decisions.
We're thinking beyond a single car or segment. It's about the entire brand and the company as a whole. We've already shown you the future of our iconic sedans. With the BMW Vision X, we're leveling up and lifting the Neue Klasse into a whole new dimension.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 1999, 25 years ago, BMW presented the first X5, the founder of the sporty SAV segment. And since then, the X family has been a pillar of the BMW brand. Around 12 million X vehicles have already been sold because today the X family covers all customer wishes in this segment. From X1 to luxury class with the X7 and XM. And now, the BMW Vision Neue Klasse X looks ahead to the future of BMW and a totally new generation of BMW X models. This future doesn't start on some far-off date. It begins next year when we turn vision into reality that our customers can experience for themselves. With the BMW Vision Neue Klasse X, we're opening up a whole new dimension for the Neue Klasse. So, why are we focusing on an X model? Because we aren't just ramping up e-mobility in niche models, but in our most successful, highest volume segments. From 2025 on, we expect demand for all electric vehicles to increase significantly. This is precisely when we will be releasing the Neue Klasse onto the market. From sporty sedans, which we have shown already last year at the IAA Mobility, with the BMW Vision Neue Klasse to an ultra-modern X family, we will offer a variety of models that excite our customers today and, of course, in the future. The Neue Klasse represents a start into a completely new model generation. It is redefining the BMW brand. With the Neue Klasse, we are taking BMW into the future in design, technology, and the philosophy of the brand. For the first time, we are showcasing the systematic implementation of the automotive industry, three major areas of future mobility combined. And this means electric, fully digital, and with a clear focus on sustainability. We have significantly improved each of these aspects. Just take the sixth generation of our battery cells, which we will use for the first time in the Neue Klasse. Quantum leaps in energy density will provide our customers 30% more range and 30% faster charging. The potential of digitalization can also be experienced in the Neue Klasse in totally new ways. This is made possible by completely new electronic control units. We call them our super brains. In total, we are using 4 of these super brains in the Neue Klasse. Each one comes with computing power that is up to 10 times faster than current systems. And our completely redesigned iDrive redefines the interface between humans and machines. And at the same time, we are also making impressive advances in the field of sustainability. We're turning all the dials. In this way, we can significantly reduce our product's carbon footprint and move even closer to circular use of raw materials. And we are sticking to this path, also because our customers expect it from us. And the most important thing is, these developments do not just benefit the Neue Klasse, they benefit all future BMW models. Ladies and gentlemen, all of this shows that with the Neue Klasse, we aren't just opening the next chapter in the history of mobility. We are writing a whole new book. More sheer driving pleasure, more digital experiences, more sustainability. In other words, more BMW than ever before. And now, ladies and gentlemen, who better to present the design of the BMW Vision Neue Klasse X than Adrian van Hooydonk. Welcome, Adrian.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the BMW Vision Neue Klasse X shows you the new design direction or archetype for our future X models. In the exterior, we have typical BMW X proportions, a two-box design with a lot of presence and emphasis on all 4 wheels. The form language is clean and robust. The car shows wheel clearance and presence of an SAV, but no spats or add-on parts, just a strong monolithic shape. The front end shows yet another interpretation of the BMW face in which we replace chrome with light. The vertically designed kidney icon matches the more upright overall appearance of an SAV and will therefore be the reserve for all our X models. It is part of daytime running light and will make our cars very recognizable by day and by night. Also, the rear shows a new light signature, broad shoulders and very crisp lines for example, around the BMW emblem. Overall, the BMW Vision Neue Klasse looks clean and strong. A lot of new technology and sensors are cleverly integrated, making this vehicle more intelligent than ever before, but above all, a very recognizable BMW. In the interior, the driving experience remains our focus, putting the driver at ease and in control. And as for all upcoming Neue Klasse models, the key element is our new BMW panoramic vision display. This display uses the whole width of the windscreen and will be visible for all passengers. Together with our free-cut central display and our new iconic steering wheel, these elements are the cornerstones of our new iDrive system. Today, we'd like to share with you a few more details of that all-new iDrive system. The panoramic vision display will be highly customizable by the user. You will be able to select your preferred set of information icons in a very easy way, making the car your very own. And those personal preferences will be linked to your driver profile, of course, which means you will always have the right information at the right time in the right place. Everything at a glance. Our free-cut central display is positioned closer to the driver and passenger, ideal for touch input. The central display is very new in its shape, but the basic layout is building on our current operating system 9 layout. This means that you will find direct touch access to your most used functions, like navigation, infotainment, or climate control. Overall, these new digital aspects of our cars will make them more intelligent and much easier to use. At the same time, it will allow us to design much cleaner and warmer interiors. The materials we are developing for the Neue Klasse will help to reduce the CO2 footprint and will create a very personal living environment on 4 wheels. Now, with the 2 vision cars for Neue Klasse, we are showing how we are going to change the look and feel of the BMW brand. Many aspects of our cars will be completely new, and yet we believe that the Neue Klasse will reflect the very essence of the BMW brand. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you certainly couldn't ask for more BMW or more future. With the Neue Klasse, we are rethinking individual mobility from the ground up. And what is more consistent than to apply this new approach to everything that defines the core of the BMW brand? First of all, that refers to the BMW X philosophy embodied by the BMW Vision Neue Klasse X. But sportiness is also at the heart of every BMW. And it is this characteristic that the BMW Vision Neue Klasse completely reimagines in a sporty sedan. And today you can see both vision vehicles together on one stage for the very first time. On the one hand, it shows how consistent the Neue Klasse is in terms of design, technology, and the relevant parameters for sustainability. And on the other, it demonstrates how broad the Neue Klasse is. Here, you can see the 2 bookends of what we can imagine. But of course, there's still plenty of room for other models and innovations in between. I can promise you today that we will be taking both of these vision vehicles from the stage to the roads in a very similar form very soon. At least 6 different Neue Klasse models will be released in the first 24 months following the start of production. I call this an unprecedented and highly ambitious timeline. But if anyone can do it, then it is us at BMW. The Neue Klasse will significantly accelerate our ramp-up of e-mobility once again. But BEVs, along with our models in the upper premium and luxury segment, are already our biggest growth drivers. Last year, we sold more than 375,000 all-electric vehicles. And this year, once again, our fully electric vehicles should see significant double-digit growth. We will soon have sold more than 1 million BEVs worldwide, including plug-in hybrids. We already passed the milestone of 2 million electrified vehicles. Plug-in hybrids are especially popular with our European customers. And that is one of the reasons why it only took us just over 2 years to double our overall xEV deliveries from 1 to 2 million. For the BMW Group overall, we are anticipating a slight increase in sales in 2024. The foundation for this is our wide range of drive technologies, all of which we are systematically further developing. And in this way, we can ensure we always offer the right products and services at the right time. This also substantially reduces our carbon footprint. At the end of 2023, we outperformed the CO2 limit set for us by the European Union by more than 20%. And this shows that our strategy not only reflects customer requirements, but also ensures effective CO2 reduction. Climate protection cannot be achieved successfully if it does not take customer needs into account. It just doesn't work. And that is why we believe a comprehensive review of CO2 fleet legislation in the EU is essential. Regulatory frameworks that ignore customer needs and market realities cannot be successful, especially if they are unable to create the necessary conditions for alternative technologies. Then they only provide objectives, but exclude possible solutions. By the end of this year, we will have more than 15 fully electric models in our lineup, from Mini, BMW and Rolls-Royce, as well as BMW Motorrad. And no matter if on 2 wheels or on 4 wheels, we always offer the best of everything. And as promised, we offer at least one all-electric model for every brand, as well as in every of our core segments. This dynamism is reflected in our share of the global BEV market. At 4.1%, it is already significantly higher than our share of the total global market, which is at 3.3%. We still expect half our deliveries to be all-electric before 2030. However, growth in BEVs worldwide is not linear. That was always clear to us. Development is volatile and market-specific due to several factors. We remain as flexible as possible. That has been our strategy for years, and we have reflected that efficiently in our architectures. We continue to prudently steer our BEV ramp-up in line with differentiated demand in global regions, and we have been successful. For us, it is important to always maintain a realistic view of the development of e-mobility. BEV growth does not benefit from a purely ideological approach, but from long-term planning and consistent implementation of goals. And that is why we are creating the best possible conditions for this in our production network and supply chain on a global scale. The first production vehicles of the Neue Klasse will start rolling off the line at our new plant Debrecen in the second half of 2025. And that is where the first SAV model on our new fully electric architecture will be launched. The sporty sedan, on the other hand, will ramp up from 2026 at our plant in Munich, which we are currently gearing up for the start of production. Every second BMW produced at Plant Munich is already today fully electric. And from late 2027 onwards, our more than 100-year-old main plant will exclusively build electric vehicles. We will also be manufacturing the Neue Klasse at our plants in San Luis Potosí in Mexico and Shenyang in China, and this perfectly demonstrates, whether at a greenfield site or a traditional location, whether in Europe, Asia, or the Americas, we are mastering the complexity and leading all our production sites into the future. As you know, to master e-mobility, you need powerful batteries. We've made it our mission to understand every aspect of battery cells, from cell composition and cell format all the way to industrial manufacturing. We are able to recreate the entire process at our Battery Cell Competence Center here in Munich and the Cell Manufacturing Competence Center in Parsdorf in Bavaria. And we are also applying our local-for-local principle to cell production for our batteries. Facilities will be located in direct proximity to our vehicle plants. This has led us to build our own production facilities for Gen 5, as we are now doing in Thailand, and for the 6th generation of BMW high-voltage batteries in Hungary, the United States of America, Mexico, and China. This ensures short transport distances and secures our supply against unforeseen events around the globe. From 2026, Gen 6 batteries for our plants in Bavaria will come from our new location in Irlbach-Straßkirchen. Establishing an industrial site like this is no longer a straightforward process, especially in Germany. We sought frank and open discussions with the residents in the early stages and explained the sustainable design and the advantages of our location in Lower Bavaria to them. And this is how we build trust. And we are very pleased that residents voted strongly in support of our new site. We see this as confirmation of our efforts. The future of e-mobility also entails integrating vehicles into the power grid. With the Neue Klasse, we're introducing bidirectional charging, which we have already tested extensively. Our customers can feed electrical energy stored in the vehicle back into their own house, electrical devices like your e-bike or the public power grid. This lowers electricity costs and helps stabilize networks. As you can see, with the Neue Klasse, we are taking mobility to a new level and at the same time becoming an entirely new company. All BMW models will benefit from the innovations of the Neue Klasse, and that means, in the future, you will recognize the Neue Klasse in every BMW. We are laying the foundation for this right here, right now, because this is the best way we can continually fulfill our aspiration, strong today and strong tomorrow. Later, I will show you how we are accomplishing this today with new models like the BMW 5 Series Touring and the new Mini Aceman. Ultimately, it is our strong products that generate strong results. Our CFO, Walter Mertl, will tell you more. We will see each other again after that.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. 2023 was another successful year for the BMW Group. We delivered strong results in the current business while securing our future viability through targeted investments. Strong demand for our attractive products, better availability of vehicles, and an easing of the supply situation led to a positive volume development.
After the halfway mark in the year, we accordingly raised our guidance for both deliveries and EBIT margin in the automotive segment. Thanks to our disciplined management of the business, we delivered yet again on all our targets. I'll now take you through our results. For the full year, we delivered 2.55 million vehicles worldwide, which is 6.4% over 2022. We achieved significant growth with our all-electric vehicles. Deliveries reached more than 375,000 units, or approximately 15% of total sales. At 9.8%, the EBIT margin in the automotive segment was well within the increased corridor of 9 to 10.5%. Excluding depreciation and amortization for BBA assets from the purchase price allocation of 1.4 billion euros, the EBIT margin was 10.8%. The group EBT margin of 11% exceeded our strategic target of 10% again. We also continued to reduce CO2 emissions in our European fleet. With 102.1 grams per kilometer, we were at 26.4 grams, in other words, 20.5% below the target set by the European Union. At group level, our revenues reached 155.5 billion euros, which is 9% higher than 2022. Adjusted for currency translation effects, revenues increased by 13.1%. The increase was driven by the higher delivery volumes and positive product mix effects. In 2023, our earnings before tax at group level amounted to 17.1 billion euros. It is important to note that group earnings in 2022 of 23.5 billion euros included a one-off profit of 7.7 billion euros. This was due to a technical accounting effect related to BBA full consolidation, namely the revaluation of our existing equity interests. Without this effect, group earnings in 2023 were 1.3 billion euros, or 8% above 2022. This also translates through to earnings per share that were at 15.70 euros in 2022, excluding the one-off profit from BBA. In 2023, earnings per share of 17.70 euros were 12.8% above the previous year. That brings me to the results of the individual segments. I'll start with the automotive segment. The BMW Group delivered 2.55 million vehicles to customers worldwide in 2023. This corresponds to solid growth of 6.4%, in line with our increased guidance. Momentum came in particular from models in the upper price segment, such as the BMW 7 Series, X7 and iX, as well as from the all-new BMW X1. Our all-electric vehicles continue to be a key growth driver. In 2023, BEVs made up almost 15% of our total sales. We also delivered over 190,000 plug-in hybrid vehicles. In total, electrified vehicles therefore accounted for over 22% of sales during the year. Revenues for the automotive segment totaled 132.3 billion euros. This amounts to a 7% increase year on year. At almost 13 billion euros, the segment's operating result was over 20% higher than 2022. This resulted in an EBIT margin of 9.8%. This is both at the higher end of our long-term strategic target corridor of 8 to 10% and well within the increased target corridor of 9 to 10.5% for the year 2023. Looking at the operating result in detail, the increase in automotive EBIT benefited from a net effect of volume, model, mix and pricing, yielding a tailwind of 2.4 billion euros. This was mainly driven by the higher volume and higher share of top-end vehicles, including BMW M models, which compensated for the higher BEV share. As expected, we saw some price normalization in the new car and used car markets through the end of the year. Compared to 2022, we see that EBIT in 2023 was impacted by 600 million euros from the net balance of currency and raw material positions. This difference is mainly due to currency effects from the development of the Chinese renminbi and US dollar. Given lower raw material prices through the end of the year, we saw a slight tailwind compared to 2022. However, this was overcompensated by headwinds from increased supplier payments. As planned, research and development expenditure rose significantly to 7.8 billion euros, almost 600 million euros higher than the previous year. The R&D ratio for the year came in at 5%. Due to higher revenues, this is the same level as 2022, although overall spending increased year on year. Expenditure for R&D mainly focused on three areas: the electrification and digitalization of the fleet, automated driving functions, and expenditure for new models. Due to higher expenses, mostly for IT projects, selling and administrative expenses increased by about 400 million euros. The position other cost changes reflects, amongst others, higher material costs, as mentioned at Q3, as well as lower residual value profits than the previous year. In 2022, a negative one-off impact of 1.8 billion euros was due to effects related to the first-time consolidation of BBA. Moving on to the free cash flow result for 2023. At year-end, free cash flow in the automotive segment reached 6.9 billion euros. It should be noted that free cash flow in the previous year included a positive effect of over 5 billion euros in net cash acquired from BBA. Without this effect, our free cash flow in 2023 was almost 900 million euros higher year on year, or an increase of 13%. The change in working capital of 2.7 billion euros mainly reflects the increase in inventories to maintain stock levels in markets worldwide. This ensured we have sufficient supply, including for new models, to meet the robust global market demand entering the new year. Capital expenditure for the year totaled 8.8 billion euros. Our investment in 2023 primarily focused on the 5th and 6th generation battery cell technology, digitalization of products and processes, and vehicle projects. In addition, we invested in construction of our plants, for example in Debrecen, Hungary, where we will launch the Neue Klasse next year. The capex ratio for the year was 5.7%. Changes in provisions had a positive impact on free cash flow of 1.5 billion euros. The position other items reflects primarily tax payments. That brings me to our financial services segment, a key enabler for our business. Financial services is already an integral part of the customer journey and will become even more important with the rollout of our direct agency sales model. In 2023, the number of new financing and leasing contracts concluded with retail customers came in at the same level as the previous year, with 1.5 million new contracts. This is a very solid result, considering the business environment with elevated interest rates and highly competitive landscape. Business developed positively quarter for quarter. While new contracts with end customers were down 20% in Q1 year-on-year, in Q4 contracts were up by 17% year-on-year. The share of new BMW Group vehicles, either leased or financed by the financial services segment, stood at 38.2% in 2023. Average financing volume per vehicle increased due to an improved product mix in the automotive business. Overall, new business volume increased by 3.4% to 57.3 billion euros. Segment earnings before tax amounted to 2.96 billion euros. The decrease reflects primarily two factors: higher refinancing costs due to rising interest rates, as well as the overall declining contract portfolio. Revenues from the resale of end-of-lease vehicles remained at a high level, but were lower than previous year as used car prices started to normalize. We expect this trend to continue in 2024, leading to a lower result from off-lease vehicles. At 0.18%, the credit loss ratio remained at low level. After increasing the target range for the year to between 16% and 19% in August, return on equity reached 17.2% for the full year. That brings me to the motorcycle segment. In its 100th anniversary year, the BMW Motorrad brand achieved record deliveries with over 209,000 units. An impressive accomplishment. All major sales regions saw growth in 2023, with particular momentum coming from Europe with 4.7% and China with 2.8%. The EBIT margin for the segment reached 8.1%. At 259 million euros, the segment's operating result was at the same level as 2022. Finally, you see the combined result from the other entities segment and inter-segment eliminations. Other entities recorded a loss in earnings before tax of 100 million euros. The decrease compared to 2022 was mainly driven by negative fair value measurement effects on interest rate hedging transactions. Consolidations increased in earnings before tax to 1.3 billion euros. Lower eliminations associated with the leasing business had a positive effect compared to the previous year. Ladies and gentlemen, at the BMW Group, we remain focused on ensuring that our shareholders benefit from the company's success. The Board of Management and the Supervisory Board will therefore propose a dividend of 6 euros per share of common stock and 6 euros too per share of preferred stock to the annual general meeting. This results in a total dividend payout of approximately 3.8 billion euros. The higher dividend payout and earnings per share in 2022 reflected considerable one-off effects from the consolidation of BBA in our group profit. Adjusted for the one-off effect, the dividend as well as earnings per share are higher in 2023. The proposed dividend for 2023 represents a payout ratio of 33.7%. This is within our long-term strategic target range of 30 to 40% and also notably higher than the payout ratio in 2022. At the end of June 2023, we successfully concluded the first program of our share buyback at 2 billion euros, which was approved at the annual general meeting in May 2022. On July 3rd last year, we launched the second program of up to 2 billion euros, with the first tranche concluding on December 31st. In total, 1.2 billion euros in share buyback were completed in 2023. The second tranche, with a volume of 500 million euros, started on January 2nd and will be carried out by June 28, 2024 at the latest. The second share buyback program will be completed by December 31st, 2025 at the latest. Taking the proposed dividend and last year's share buyback together, the total payout of 5 billion euros represents 92% of auto free cash flow available to BMW AG's shareholders. This underscores the financial strength and robust cash flow generated by our operations, which supports optimal shareholder return. Moving on from 2023, what are we expecting in 2024? In the automotive segment, we expect slight growth in volumes, driven by our young and attractive product portfolio. Specifically, we should see significant growth of our BEV share, as well as a double-digit growth in the upper segment. We anticipate an increase in material costs and supplier payments. However, this should be offset by a net tailwind from FX and commodities. The net impact of volume, mix, and price should be slightly positive. And we will take our disciplined approach forward into 2024. At the same time, lower profits from off-lease vehicles will weigh on auto EBIT. In 2024, we will hit our CapEx and R&D peak, as planned and communicated. The continued implementation of our electrification and digitalization strategy will lead to greater research and development costs. Expenditures related to the Neue Klasse, such as further development of the sixth-generation battery technology and preparation in the production network, will also impact the group's earnings and result in greater capital expenditure. For the current financial year, we therefore expect a CapEx ratio above 6% and an R&D ratio above 5%. After 2024, both ratios will gradually return to our strategic corridors, which remain unchanged. That means for CapEx, less than 5%, and for the R&D ratio, between 4% and 5%. Despite the significant investment in future technologies, we will generate above 6 billion euros in automotive free cash flow in 2024. Financial services will benefit from the higher auto sales and stabilization of the interest rate environment. However, a decline in used car values will negatively impact the result. And given the higher lease penetration rate, we will see a lower eliminations result. What do we expect for our key performance indicators in 2024? In the automotive segment, deliveries of BMW, Mini, and Rolls-Royce brand vehicles are expected to rise slightly year on year. The segment's EBIT margin should fall within our strategic target corridor of 8 to 10%. The share of all electric vehicles relative to the total deliveries is expected to increase significantly compared to 2023. In the motorcycle segments, deliveries are expected to increase slightly, with an EBIT margin within our target range of 8 to 10%. Return on equity in the financial services segment is forecast to land between 14% and 17%. As expected, the supply of and demand for vehicles is continuing to stabilize. It is therefore expected that revenues from remarketing lease returns will fall further compared to 2023. For the group's pre-tax profit, we expect a slight decrease. This is due primarily to the high level of expenses for research and development and capital expenditures, as outlined before. The decrease in the financial services business will also contribute to the slight decrease in group profit before tax. The group's headcount is forecast to increase slightly. Ladies and gentlemen, at the BMW Group, our strong brands and attractive products have long formed the foundation for our success and will continue to do so in the future. We allocate our capital in investments efficiently, in line with our long-term strategy. At the same time, we remain focused on cost discipline and profitability. Our strategic perspective gives us clarity on our consistent path going forward, while our operational excellence secures our future competitive advantage and the overall health of the business. Our high flexibility allows us to meet market demand and consistently deliver on targets. And in 2023, it underpinned our profitable growth. The increase in our BEV sales to almost 15% put us in a strong position to overachieve the CO2 targets. We also recorded growth in the upper segment, resulting in a balanced and profitable mix. As you know, our industry is known for its high complexity, for long life cycles, and for tough regulatory requirements, which are ever increasing. That is why our planning horizon always spans several years. As the Vision Neue Klasse X proves, our strategy ensures that we anticipate trends in the industry to remain ahead. We are fully committed to deliver on our long-term strategic target of an 8 to 10% EBIT margin every year. And we deliver what we promise. We have the right product lineup and the flexibility to meet customer needs across the globe. And our product offering is growing. We will therefore continue with our profitable growth and also fulfill our targets, assuming market conditions remain stable. As everyone has seen in the BEV market in China, this is not always a given. At the BMW Group, we will maintain our balanced steering of multiple individual objectives to achieve all of our strategic priorities. Our strong performance today is paving our road to tomorrow's continued success. We remain confident about 2024 financial year and beyond. And now it's time to hear from Oliver again. He'll show you what we have in the pipeline across all brands to drive our success in the coming years.
Ladies and gentlemen, our BMW Motorrad brand is well on its way to emission-free mobility in urban spaces. I like to ride a motorbike myself whenever I have the time. So I'm delighted that we are launching many new models this year. 3 of them stand out particularly. Here you can see the new CEO 2. It is the second fully electric model after the CEO 4 standing next to it, which is the undisputed market leader in its segment. There's something special about the new CEO 2 that makes it particularly appealing to young people. In Germany and other countries, you only have to be 15 years old to ride it. And the M1000XR is already the second M motorcycle model. There are also a lot of fans eagerly awaiting the R1300 GS Adventure. A comprehensive offering on two wheels, whatever customers are looking for, they will find it at BMW Motorrad. Just like BMW Motorrad, our Mini brand has a passionate fan community around the globe. With our new Mini family, we're taking the brand into a new dimension, just as the Neue Klasse is doing for the BMW brand. And now Mini is gearing up for a world premiere, the Aceman. This will be the third member of the new Mini family and the first Mini we're offering exclusively as an all-electric vehicle. And even if it's still camouflaged, I can promise you it is unmistakably a Mini inside and out. Signature design, go-kart feeling, and digitally in tune with the times. And all this combined with a minimal ecological footprint. And that describes not only the Aceman, but the entire new Mini family. The Aceman fills the gap between the Cooper and the Countryman, which has grown significantly bigger. The all-new Countryman has been well received, whether with a combustion engine or all-electric. And the all-new Cooper, which will be available starting in May, is already sold out for the next 4 months. Our new Mini family will be built at our Spotlight joint venture in China, in Oxford, UK, and for the first time in Germany at our plant in Leipzig. And in the second half of the year, we will launch the all-new Mini convertible, which many fans are eagerly waiting for. Together with a 5-door Mini Cooper, our new Mini family will then be complete. And now, let's jump from one end of our portfolio to the other. From the Mini typical go-kart feeling to our ultra-luxury mark. Spectre is the first battery-electric Rolls-Royce model to hit the showrooms. With its all-electric drivetrain, we are bringing the driving experience at Rolls-Royce to a whole new level. That feels effortless, just like a magic carpet ride. We've never had so many pre-orders for a Rolls-Royce model. And this shows that our exclusive customers acknowledge how perfectly Rolls-Royce and electrification fit together. Rolls-Royce is an unparalleled success story. Our luxury brand, with its unique product portfolio, has never been as strong and as differentiated as it is today. And let's not forget the significant contribution margin it earns for the company. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, the new BMW 5 Series Touring. BMW is where touring meets e-drive. No one else in the segment has a vehicle like this on offer. The i5 Touring will be available from May. It delivers an electric range of over 500 kilometers and is especially popular in Europe. The 5 Series sedan and the i5 will also be available exclusively in China with a longer wheelbase. Both will be built at BMW's Brilliance plant in Dadong. Our high-performance brand, BMW M, also offers a technological spectrum. With the i4 M50, the i5 M60 sedan, the i5 M60 Touring, the iX M60 and the i7 M70, we have 5 all-electric models on offer. And by the way, the all-electric i4 M50 is yet again our best-selling BMW M model. And this year, fans can especially look forward to the new edition of the M5, first as a sedan and later also as a touring. Both M variants come with an impressive, partially electrified drivetrain. With the BMW M hybrid system, they are able to drive more than 70 kilometers on electric power alone. Our plug-in hybrids remain an important element of our drivetrain portfolio. And why? Because they provide a boost to e-mobility that should not be underestimated. Many customers discover and come to appreciate the advantages of electric driving in this way. The 5 Series and the 5 Series Touring are concrete examples of how BMW is implementing a variety of drivetrains to meet very diverse customer needs. All of this is based on our flexible architecture, which enables us to cover the entire spectrum, from powerful BEVs to smart plug-in hybrids, all the way to highly efficient combustion engines, and of course, high-performance M models. The success of this approach has been reflected in our key figures for several years now in sales and profit margins. With our broad technological approach, we are already thinking one step ahead. We have been testing the BMW iX5 Hydrogen in selected countries under everyday conditions since last year. Our pilot fleet's world tour has raised awareness of the role hydrogen can play in the energy transition, not just for mobility, but industry-wide. Our vehicles performed well under various climate and traffic conditions, and the public response has been overwhelmingly positive. This was no surprise to us, since hydrogen-fueled cell drivetrains combine the best of both worlds: the advantages of an emission-free e-drive with the fast refueling people are used to. That's why we see hydrogen as an additional alternative drive technology that could make a lot of sense in the mid to long term. And for us, our aspiration to be strong tomorrow means being already strong today. This is especially true of the new edition of the best-selling X model, the BMW X3, which will be released later this year. The new X3 will be available with a choice of highly efficient combustion engines or as a plug-in hybrid. And at the same time, we are preparing for the next major leap. The Neue Klasse is built on a separate new architecture, already tailored today to the electric vehicles of tomorrow. This enables us to make the best possible use of economies of scale as demand for electric model grows. Vehicle architectures are important, but they are not the decisive lever. That would be our technology clusters. They enable innovations and technological advances to be scaled efficiently across all architectures. Behind this is a modular principle that allows us to roll our technologies to different vehicle concepts and segments. And this ensures that the innovations of the Neue Klasse will benefit the entire BMW model lineup in the coming years. We don't divide our products into old and new, but always offer our customers the latest technology, regardless of the vehicle's powertrain. And we are using the Neue Klasse as our innovation and technology booster for the entire portfolio and for all major future mobility topics that we implement in our vehicles, including our design. The Neue Klasse is our impulse, initiator and enabler to roll out new technologies over the next few years. As you can see, we will continue to serve all markets according to their needs, providing top products in all segments. The full range of 4 drive technologies, regardless of which architecture they are built on, is just one aspect here. The BMW Group is a tech company. The ability to manage this complexity, to orchestrate, scale, and further develop technologies is one of the BMW Group's greatest strengths and a unique selling point. And with this in mind, we offer our customers the best coherent overall package. This is our aspiration and our goal. It might even be the most important secret ingredient in our company's success. We already showcase our innovative strength in automated driving with models like the BMW 5 Series and BMW 7 Series. The new BMW 5 Series was the first car in Germany approved for partially automated driving at up to 130 kilometers per hour on motorways. A completely new feature is the active line change assistant with eye confirmation. The driver simply glances briefly in the exterior mirror and the car changes lanes. Starting in March 2024, our customers will be able to experience Level 3 highly automated driving in the BMW 7 Series. This means you can let go of the wheel and temporarily turn your attention to something else. Your 7 Series takes care of speed and distance control all by itself, as well as lane tracking. The steps to automated driving is one of the three main stories of the online version of the BMW Group Report 2023. I invite you to click through our online report. Our award-winning online report will once again provide you with a compact overview of everything we are working on. You can experience what moves us and try out our interactive KPI calculator. Just like the title says, driving the next era. Our spectacular vision vehicles show the direction in which we are taking mobility, in line with the major topics of the future. The most important aspect for our customer is, what does it feel like on the road? In the board of management, we already got to drive a pre-series model of the Neue Klasse. And we all agree that it is sheer driving pleasure at a whole new level. This is something only we can do. It is typically BMW. A lot of people talk about transformation, and that is when one thing replaces another. But in our industry, it is more a case of things happening at the same time. Parallel approaches that still unmistakably move us forwards. And that is why the BMW Group is committed to continuous and simultaneous progress through bold leaps in innovation and responsible action. And that brings us full circle, strong today and strong tomorrow. Thank you.